Warning. The following program is rated 80s and will not be suitable for some listeners. It will contain lightsabers, Imperial walkers, Star Destroyers, and Star Wars. There will be spoilers, but way, way late in the program after a break, so you'll be able to turn it off. Anyway, listener discretion is advised. And now, Rated 80s presents Comics on Film.
On Friday night, blast off to a galaxy far, far away. It's the Star Wars Holiday Special, starring all your Star Wars favorites. Will Chewbacca get home to his planet in time for the big Wookiee holiday celebration? Find out on the star-studded Star Wars Holiday Special. Friday at 8, 7,
All right, coming at you almost live from the hilltop of the gritty city, presenting glorious stereophonic 2.53 Mookie Vision, it's Comics on Film.
Yeah.
I am your host, Mr. Jeremy Whitman, with my co-host, Sith Lord Rusty.
I'm not a Sith Lord. I'm a Master of Arms.
Master at Arms of the Sith Lords.
Yes.
All right, sorry. Rusty is going to an event this evening.
Yeah.
What's it called? The lightsaber battle.
Yeah.
Sith Lords. How'd this happen?
Well, there's actually a company that started doing them, and they got like London, they got New York, and they got LA. But here's the thing: Seattle is the number one place for Star Wars
And
period.
nerds in general.
Like,
Suck it, San Francisco.
yeah,
We have nerdier people.
absolutely. The good dark nerdy people that are kind of suicidal, but make really good shit.
Rest in peace, Kurt Cobain.
Was he a nerd? He's bound to be. He probably loved
Yeah.
Star Wars. Yeah. So the Mind, was it Mindscape? I think it is the company
That puts together lightsaber battles?
Yeah, they just do an event.
Were they
just,
the guys I saw 2 days ago on Fox and Friends in the morning? Lightsaber dueling with the Fox and Friends people? Probably.
Maybe. Probably. Yeah, they decided to do these events, and we started up the Sith Lords, which is actually just a group of friends of mine. We decided to make biker vests.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys can't see it. Rusty
Yeah.
is wearing what looks at a glance like a dangerous biker's vest.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
sleeveless denim, and it has patches on it. He's got a patch for 66. He has In Memory of Vader, and then the star date for Vader's birthday. This is all written in BASIC for you Star Wars fans.
Yep.
And the Imperial logo on there, and it says Master on one of his things.
Is that
And
Master at
then,
Arms?
on a leash is a small girl, about 24 years old, clad in leather, and
I
it
wish.
says Padawan.
I need one of those.
All of a sudden, but we won't get into that. But that Star Wars is played. This is a Star Wars episode, by the way. This is our Star Wars holiday special. So Ed Asner will be out here to sing something for you later. And Happy Life Day, everybody.
Yeah.
But Star Wars has been a pretty big part of our lives forever.
It's kind of hard not to be if you're born in the 80s. It's just...
Especially, it's a weird thing. Everyone I know from the 80s that had a strong religious upbringing, a lot of them weren't allowed to watch certain movies. We've talked about this before. You couldn't watch, your Terminators, your RoboCops until they came on Channel 11. Then we trusted the Channel 11 censors to take all that out so that they're safe for children. Basically, they just removed the boobs and the swears and left in all the horrible, horrible violence. And well, that's what a 10-year-old wants anyway, is violence. But because Star Wars was PG and G, it's almost G, the original one, they had to add a shot to make it a PG. Since they were so low on the rating scale, you got to watch them for some reason. Nothing else in the 80s were you allowed to watch because everything else was like, it just had breasts in it. Star Wars only has one boob in it so far.
One boob?
There's a green boob in Star Wars in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, yeah,
The girl
You're
falls
right.
in. It's not an intentional boob.
Yeah.
Well, let's not say that. I don't know. There might be an editor in there somewhere who is like, I'll bet you this will play.
Get a boob
It's
in.
like 3 frames of boob.
Yeah.
But but
That
Star
you
Wars
slowly
was
rewound
an actual
many
movie made
times.
for children, not like most of the movies we've talked about on this podcast, which children just happened to be exposed to and hooked us on cinema violence.
It was weird. Do you think the first one was made for kids?
Yeah, not for 3-year-olds like the first prequel, which was made for the youngest people. But the first one was made as a throwback to the serials that George Lucas would watch growing up and modernizing it. It was visionary.
Yeah.
In a different way than the prequels were visionary in a way like, I want to see how far I can push this technology.
Yeah.
Which I have a theory of film that says as a director gets older, unless he's the Mad Max guy, he gets lamer on the way because they wanted to push this idea of a fairy tale in space, Flash Gordon serials.
Yeah.
That was his initial thing. Let's modernize that. Let's push that. And then let's modernize this Indiana Jones adventure series, and let's push that.
Yeah.
And then, hey, what if we shot with digital cameras and I just painted everything?
Yeah.
That'll be a big advancement. Yeah, but it fucking sucks and it's boring because you've forgotten what really made Star Wars great was a simple story, strong characters that you cared about, strong personalities in all those characters, and fucking laser swords.
Yeah.
So we should mention we both went and saw on opening day.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens.
Yeah, yeah.
You went at 4 a.m.
Yes, because I'm hardcore.
Yeah, I went at noon. Pro tip, listeners, anytime they say, that movie sold out all weekend, coast to coast, lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie. You can almost always go Friday at noon and see it. It will almost never be sold out. If the bigger the city you're in, the more likely it'll be to be sold out. But there's always shitty cities wrapped around your nice big city.
Yeah. Where you
go to one of the
pop in and get
horrible
one,
and most. It's like a city made of warehouses and homeless people. Go there, and they'll have a mall they're building near the residences, and that'll have an AMC or a Regal, and that's a first-run theater. You can go watch the movie there. If you're in downtown Seattle, downtown San Francisco, LA, Miami, New York, it might not work.
Yeah.
But you can always do it.
I live in
part
Tacoma,
of opening day.
I went to Lakewood to see it.
Yeah.
And
you only went to Lakewood? I thought you'd gone all the way to Seattle.
No. I went to Lakewood one because they have they have lazy boys basically to sit in. Like,
oh yeah,
they recline all the way back. The head goes back. Huge cup holder. It was awesome.
Despite the movie industry is kind of getting smaller and smaller, they say, but they're making way more money as we go to international markets. And stuff like that, but not in inflated dollars. But people don't go to the movies as much as they used to. Well, they don't have to now. They can FaceTime all the way across the country.
Yeah, exactly.
And they can do all sorts of things to fill their time aside from movies. Before it was like movies or a rock and a stick or just sign up and join the army. Like those were your 3 options for entertainment. Or listen to a radio thing.
Do you remember seeing the first one?
The first prequel?
Star Wars. No, the first Star Wars.
My first time seeing it?
When you were younger, yeah.
No, I don't remember. I remember it was something that played a lot, though.
Yeah.
It was around a lot, but I don't think it was a huge television thing.
No.
It was not, but everyone, like I said, my peer group, we weren't allowed to watch cool movies. I got the Karate Kid 1 and 2. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
But not Karate Kid 3, maybe because it's a cinematic fucking nightmare. Maybe my dad was that cool. Maybe he's just like, no, you've been karateing the hell out of your brother too much. And then Star Wars. Got all the Star Wars all the time. Any Star Wars I wanted, I had it on video. Could watch it on video. My cousin, his dad's a preacher down in LA, Los Angeles, Fresno area.
Yeah.
It's a pretty wide stretch, California, I just mentioned. Fresno's like hours from that. But he had the poster, the original poster on his wall, was saving it from the first movie. He's probably still got it, or maybe he sold it to put his kids through college or something. And it was just a thing we were allowed to watch. And I find this a lot. I posted one time on Reddit about this, that I wasn't allowed to watch anything with almost any violence in it, but Star Wars was something I was allowed to watch even as a fundamentalist kid. And 4 people underneath it. Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
So
there was no blood.
Mm-hmm.
People died, but not in the way that
only real blood in Star Wars ever is when that arm gets chopped off at Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah.
And that is actually an insert shot to get the PG rating because they were worried they might not get a PG.
That it would be too tame? What?
Well, the only other real death of a type person in that movie is Obi-Wan and a couple of the fighter pilots, right?
Greedo?
Huh? Greedo gets shot, but he's an alien thing, so it's kind of cartoonish. They thought it might be too cartoony. And that shot, people are always confused about why he cut his arm off with the lightsaber. Why is there blood around it? Because that shot was done not years later, but way later in the process.
Yeah.
They didn't even think about it. They're just like, we need a severed arm.
Yeah.
Go to the costume shop, find a werewolf arm, throw it on the ground, put some space blood around it, and hopefully we got. Yeah. So that doesn't match the rest. So fuck it. Now that I think about it, Star Wars kind of sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
No, I do remember going opening day also to the re-release of the special edition.
Yeah.
And I remember a feeling in the pit of my stomach when the Fox fanfare played and you get Star Wars up on the big screen and the music and the big surround sound system that was very hard to accomplish in your own home at that point. And then I remember being kind of baffled, why is there a brontosaurus walking through the shot?
Yeah, see,
blocking
those are
what
the
I
parts.
remember. I thought they'd just make fancier lasers. That's what I thought was going to go on.
I just thought they were going to digitally, you watch digitally enhanced movies now.
Well, they went back and restored the negative, cleaned it up.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd just be crystal clear.
Yeah.
And it was, but then they fucking put a dinosaur walking through.
Yeah,
through
he was just trying to, I don't honestly know what he was trying to do with it. I remember not being able to, like, I could always watch them on VHS, and I remember wanting to see Return of the Jedi in theaters because I missed the other two, and begging my freaking mom to go see them, and just didn't have the money or couldn't, whatever the reason. Remember dying, and I didn't go see the re-releases either, like an idiot. So technically, the only Star Wars I've ever seen in theaters was the new one, The Force Awakens.
Oh, really? You never went and saw Phantom Menace, or?
No, I didn't see him in theaters.
Yeah?
Nope. I probably should have. I'm a huge fucking fan, but I also, like, I'm a huge fan of the... No, wait, I take that back. I saw the third one. Episode 3 I saw in theater.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And that was awesome.
Episode 1 and Episode 2, I believe, in theaters. Yeah. And at the end of Episode 1, I remember being just, like, very upset.
Yeah.
Because they chopped the bad guy in half, and I expected he would stick around and be a more
that
important
dude,
character. And there was, like...
one of the best characters ever, honestly.
Oh, maybe. He never did anything. He had 2 lines in the movie. But for character design,
Yeah. Just
he's
wicked
scarier looking than the new bad guy in the new movie.
Yeah.
Oh, we should also mention, we're 10 minutes into this. We will not spoil the new movie until we say that we're going to spoil the new movie.
We'll let you know.
So if you haven't seen the new movie, you are safe until we give a warning about spoilers.
And then we will warn you, and if you don't listen, that's your own damn fault.
Yeah. I've never seen the movie industry be so intent on not spoiling people. Of course, people have been online trying to spoil it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm just going to take a couple days off from major interneting.
Yeah. I really
to not stumble across the
I was trying to find things out, or I was trying to think about things and how it was going to play out in the new one. I was trying to figure that out, and I purposely stayed away from, like, because I wanted to Google, like, what's the storyline? Who's in this? Like, what's going to happen? I really, really wanted to, but then I also just didn't want to fuck it up for myself. And I know there's tons of spoiler people out there, and 90% of them were wrong before it came out. Like, so many
they're
of them.
plot guessing.
Yeah.
But then people did see the movie as early as, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
And were flying online and just jumping into any thread they could and throwing... Like, when Harry Potter's final book came out, I actually... Because what happened with that was the final book leaked... Someone took a picture of every page of the book very hastily with a digital camera and made a PDF to leak the entire final book. So when I found out that happened, I knew I was going to buy the book already, so I didn't feel so bad to go onto the Pirate Bay, snag the book, and read it.
Yeah.
Sometimes kind of hard because those pictures, somebody had just gotten a promotional copy or something on their way to, like, put it in a box and send it off.
They went through every single page
very quickly sometimes. So some of the words are out of focus and stuff, but I'm like, I have to read this immediately so I don't get spoiled. And then I turn the internet back on and people are jumping into any old thread about, I don't understand space-time and light speed. Well, on page 859, here's what happens to Dumbledore or whatever. And I was like, thank God I did that. Yeah. So there are those people out there. We're not those people. Yeah. Not this time. Maybe someday.
I had a really bad spoiler when I was younger. I was on. I actually did the spoiler to my brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I had seen
the
movie.
Him he was going to die alone.
No, I saw the movie 7 before him.
Oh,
7 with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt.
How can you spoiler that? The bad guy's not even in the movie.
Well, see, he was a dick.
Spoiler.
Yeah. My brother was a big asshole, I think the night before or something, and as he's leaving with his friend Darnell to go see the movie, I go, hey, his wife's head's in the box. And it just, he came back and beat the shit out of me. It was great. Yeah, he knocked me around a little bit for that one. That was the only time I think I'll ever be really satisfied with spoiling somebody's movie experience.
I have very vague memories of how I initially encountered Star Wars, but I do know that I loved it.
Yeah.
I get, bored sometimes. Like, why are they talking about blowing up this ball? Just get in your spaceships and go blow the fucking thing up. Because you're, like, very young. Because the first one came out before we were born.
Yeah.
And then, kind of get older, you understand who Yoda is a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, so I was too young to, like, get that, Darth Vader, the father, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then you...
Oh, spoilers. We're going to spoil the shit out of the first movie.
Okay, if you haven't seen the original Star Wars, why are you listening to this at all?
There's something
It'd
wrong
be
with you.
interesting to be like 12 years old right now and somehow you'd avoided all Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like you're Amish and you're
Dude,
Amish kids take a break from being Amish for a while when they choose whether or not they're going to go back to the church. So maybe some of them are like, what the hell is this Star Wars
I know
thing
people,
everyone
I've
is
looked
talking
on
about?
my Facebook for the past couple of days and they're promoting the new one. And everyone's like, I'm tired of Star Wars. No, I've never seen them. I don't give a shit. I'm like, well, if you never, first of all, how? You're an idiot. But what? How have you not seen Star Wars? But
that's how people are going to feel about the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a few years.
yeah.
And I kind of, not that I don't like the Marvel movies, I kind of don't like what this idea that you need a property existing to make a movie has done to the industry. And Marvel's been a big part of that.
Yeah.
And I saw the first Avengers. It was just like a physical. I surrender to the amount of advertising going on. Fuck it, I'll go in there and watch it because apparently this is a big piece of pop culture that I need to know something about. So I could see people being a little, there's a lot of Star Wars. There's limited edition cereals with the beach ball robot with another beach ball on its head.
I could see why people would be too inundated, but I try to leave it alone. Like, I don't actually buy a lot of Star Wars gear.
I have none. Because I was so upset with the prequels that I decided I will not buy any Star Wars anything.
Yeah.
I might change my mind now that it's Disney, although Disney's a company that I think is very close to the Empire.
Yeah.
Like, the Empire bought the rights to the Empire as a film franchise. But there's a lot of cool Star Wars stuff going on now.
Yeah. I have my 3-foot Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
I have a C-3PO but I have the original C-3PO, the robotic one, the automatic. He takes batteries and he walks around your house. He'll actually go on guard duty.
C-3PO? You have a walking C-3PO
Or no,
robot?
R2-D2.
Oh,
sorry.
I was like, wow, this is a technical marvel.
Whoa! No. I have the R2-D2, and he plays the song from the Mos Eisley Cantina, and he dances. He does a little dance thing, and he plays games with you and stuff. It's the coolest thing, and it's one of the original things from. It's an 80s toy.
Oh yeah, it still works.
It's fucking amazing. And I looked up. I hadn't even thought about it in the longest time. It's just been decoration in my house. My daughter plays with it occasionally, and I looked it up online. I'm like, holy shit, this thing is $600, $700 now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It'll bring you a soda. It has a little soda compartment.
If it ever breaks, you could just put Fred Bowski in it, and people would still think it works.
Yeah, I have that. But I don't have a lot. Like, I'm going to a lightsaber battle, and I don't have a lightsaber.
Yeah, we used to, when I was a child, we would take, at Christmas time especially, Mom would finish wrapping the presents, there'd be those long cardboard tubes.
Yeah.
Those were our lightsabers. Now these kids today, they got all kinds of wacky lightsabers. They got a build your own lightsaber commercial at the front of this movie. And it's like, how much can you really do with... Here's the thing about a lightsaber. It's elegant in its simplicity.
Yeah.
I'm sure the first guy who made a sword, there was some other jackoff who was like, what if I made 8 swords in one?
Yeah.
Well,
like, no, that's retarded.
No, there's not a lot of situations where you need to stab 8 people.
The thing they get,
and they're all aligned in a Mighty Ducks flying V.
It's a saber, not a... It's not supposed to be any other... It's just supposed to be a long...
Anything you can do kung fu with, you could adapt to a lightsaber.
Yeah.
But for sure. My brother, who's not my brother by blood, has a different family. His aunt is a bit sadistic when it comes to children. She's raised 3 amazing people, despite all odds. But what she did, she had a Darth Vader piggy bank that if you put money in it would make some, you have entered the dollar or something, or I am altering the deal. Some
Why
horrible...
did your Vader sound like Schwarzenegger?
No, I don't do impressions. And I realized that as I was saying that. So we're not going to do the Darth Vader impression.
Your father.
It says some menacing, blow off some steam.
The Empire Strikes Back.
It's not the Toma. It was a pirated one from China, so it had the wrong movies. No, it made Darth Vader noises like the breathing or whatever. And it was like, also about 3 feet tall and scary looking, and it started to malfunction where it just make the noise.
Or just
there was a hallway they didn't want him to go down, so they just turned off the lights and left the piggy bank at the end of the hallway.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
That is
There's
so
some other
great.
great stuff she'd do. Hey, go over there and hold up that wall. I think it's going to fall down. To a 4-year-old.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've done shit like that to my kid. Oh, it's so great. You just convince them. They're so easy to manipulate.
Kids
so
will believe
funny.
anything you tell them.
Oh, my God, it's great.
You know what they told me when I was a kid? Some Jew got murdered, and because of that, I could go to heaven. Like, fucking ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense.
It did when you're young.
Yeah.
Then you got to grow up.
Yep. But yeah, I remember specifically going to the Phantom Menace and being so excited because the trailer for it was pretty good.
Oh yeah,
it didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, it didn't
just
really
was
have to.
Something marvelous is going to happen. That's basically all it kind of said was something badass. And you saw some lightsabers.
And the pod racers looked really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing
looked the most out of the prequels like any Star Wars film because it's shot on film.
Yeah.
For one thing, there's a lot of CGI in it, but it was shot on film. So it looked a lot more like Star Wars, although I still thought it was too glossy for a Star Wars movie. Star Wars is gritty.
Yeah.
That's its claim to fame. One of many claims to fame.
Yeah.
Being gritty. I remember just hating it about halfway through. I'm not enjoying it. I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't really know anything about movies. I just knew I didn't like this.
I remember the fanfare being insane. Like, everyone was like...
Oh, yeah, everyone lost their minds.
But it wasn't half as much as this one.
But I remember they chopped Darth Maul in half, and I got really upset.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, yeah! And I was like, what the fuck? I screamed it over everyone, and there was an 8-year-old sitting next to me with his dad. I'm lucky the guy didn't throttle me. I was really upset, though, because he was supposed to be the new Darth Vader, and Darth Vader is way more developed as a character. Even the first Star War, Darth Vader, I like to use the singular Star War. I think it's hilarious.
Star War.
Everyone have a delightful Star War. I think it's funny.
It took me forever. Is one mind-blowing thing for me is I think I was like 30 when I realized, and this is going to make me sound like a total idiot, just so
I know where this is
we're
going.
clear. Are you sure?
Didn't like the prequels?
No.
Did you like them?
It took me 30 years to realize it's a long time ago.
What did you think it said?
I don't know. I never really put it... Okay, so I know...
Oh, you mean that it's in the past?
Yeah.
People make that mistake all the time. That's a Trivial Pursuit question.
It
Did Star
fucked
Wars
me
happen
up.
in the past or the future?
Yeah.
And everyone loses.
Yeah.
Because it's in the past, yeah.
But
Some
it's
people
so
are
weird
like,
that I didn't think about that when I was younger. I've seen that scrolling lettering I don't know how many fucking times, and it just never...
Well, it's just there to give it fairy tale flavoring, I think. But it works so well because you look at Star Trek, you go, come on, they got that transcoder thing, or what was transponder? That they use. I don't fucking know about this.
I don't know Star Trek
it's for
at all.
Nerds. And we're not nerds. We're here talking about Star Wars, like real gun-toting Americans, horseback riding, putting in fences with our Ford trucks. You know. But you look at Star Wars, you're like, come on, the future's technology should be way better than that. Look, we got these iPhones now.
Yeah.
We got tablets all over the time, and all their stuff's big and clunky, and their screens are always exploding, and the ship's shaking, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You go a long time ago, far far away. None of our stuff matters at all.
Yeah. It totally discredits our universe, really.
Yeah, it's like, a galaxy far, far away. I don't think George Lucas knows what a galaxy is, honestly, but that's a good thing to say, because that means it's like a galaxy is really far away. That's not...
It's not just far away, it's far, far away.
Yeah. So it's like 3 galaxies over. They probably became the Borg. I smell a crossover.
No. Look, JJ can direct both of them and all that. Actually, the newest Star Trek, he's not even directing.
No. Have you seen the trailer for it?
Yeah, I like it.
It looks like crap.
Really?
Oh, I thought it looked horrible.
I mean, it looked like an action flick. It didn't really look like a Star Trek, but then I don't really care about Star Trek.
I don't care about Star Trek either. But that looks bad.
But they kind of follow, at least it seems to me, they follow kind of the X-Files plan where there's different types of episodes. You know, X-Files has like A and B plots, or A and B episodes.
Where they got like a monster that can stretch and go through vents, and then they got the smoking man. Is that what you're talking about? They have Monster of the Week. And
a lot of times, at least with like, because I watched Next Generation a lot when I was younger, there's cerebral episodes and then there's nothing but action episodes. And so it kind of just, we're
going to get hate mail because you just said that.
I don't give a fuck.
I do. It goes to my email.
Okay.
We're going to have these fucking army of people with pocket protectors coming at us. It's like, no, the original series was more action-y than, who cares? This is not about Star Trek. No, I don't fucking care about Star Trek.
I never did. I mean, I'll go watch the new one probably because it's JJ fucking Abrams.
It's an action movie, though.
Yeah. But he picked a really good director, and he helped write it.
Fast and the Furious guy?
Yeah.
They're going to drive the Enterprise through an office building. That's their
explains why there was a dirt bike driving through the trailer, but, you know, whatever.
It looks like a rated 80s movie to me. That's the thing. It's like, but it shouldn't be. And the Abrams ones are just right there on the edge of what a Star Trek movie could possibly be.
The first one was phenomenal, though.
Like nonsense.
Yeah.
The first one I liked up until the point when they go, there was a supernova threatening to destroy the galaxy. What? Come on. Everyone who's been through third grade should know that a supernova is much smaller than a galaxy.
Yeah.
It's a weird line that's in there. It's like, is that just in there to make people angry and fight about it on the internet? Do they consider that publicity? Or is someone that dumb that they wrote that?
Yeah. I don't know.
Can you write about space? Yeah, I know like 6 or 7. I know what asteroid field, planet, supernova. Which one of those could destroy a galaxy?
Which is pretty much what they did with Star Wars. It's not like Lucas knew a shit ton about Star Wars or about
Star Wars is a fantasy story, though.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like I can see being very upset.
And Star Trek isn't a fantasy story.
It wasn't. Now it is with these guys. Well, now it's Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
Enterprise 7, Death Wish 9. Like, doesn't matter. But I do remember going and seeing that and just being very upset and seeing because everyone's like, oh, Attack of the Clones would be great. Even though the other one is just a nightmare. I go watch that and this makes even kind of less sense than the other one.
Yeah.
I never watched the third one.
Well, I like the Sam Jack. You never watched the third one?
Mm-mm.
That's the one that was legit.
Seen it. I've seen it. I never watched it in theaters.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I saw the third one because I think I waited for the first two to be on video and then I saw the third one in theaters. And I liked it. I mean, I dug it as in a store where, I loved that movie. I loved how bad they fucked up Hayden Christian Anderson. I love how they fucked him up and how he became Vader. And then they did the stupidest thing in the world and they had him turn into Frankenstein at the end. Mm-hmm. That pissed me off. No, fuck you. That was so dumb.
Complete lack of respect for the source material.
Yeah,
happening in that original trilogy.
Yeah.
And for the fan base and everything in it, it sold probably $1 billion worth of toys and tickets and stuff like that. That's great. I guess we're going to help cure malaria.
Yeah. What?
Oh, because George Lucas sold it then and he's taken all his money and doing I'm a billionaire, I'm going to try and give away my whole fortune to charity.
Oh, okay.
Carefully. They don't just take a big bag of money with a $sign on it and throw it at malaria, but they have like people
Where's this malaria I've been hearing about?
I'm going to club it to death with this bag of money. They have things like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that really work hard to make sure that money's spent in the proper way to teach people to read or to not get bit by mosquitoes with malaria or to stop tuberculosis or whatever. Yeah. So that's good, I guess, that he, destroyed all of our hopes and dreams for Star Wars ever being good again in our adult lifetime, but then took that money and used it in a charitable way. I guess that's okay. But then thankfully he sold it to Disney, and we might be getting into spoiler-ish territory here. The new Star Wars is good and feels like Star Wars.
Yeah, definitely.
So, it feels like being raped for charity to fund a rape prevention center. It's just this weird thing because it's horrible, and it lowered our expectation for film across the board.
The first three,
the prequel trilogy, and fuck him for that, by the way, too. Going back into now renaming all the other movies, it was just called Star Wars initially. That was the whole name of the movie. Yeah. It wasn't Episode 7.
Well, the first one was
Episode 3. No, it was Star Wars.
The first one was
Star
A New Hope.
Wars. Nope. Initially, it was Star Wars.
Really?
That title was, he's been fiddling with this forever. And then he goes back and he changes it.
I thought it was
episode,
A New Hope,
blah,
and
blah,
then
blah.
they changed it to
was
Star Wars.
Literally, the movie was named Star Wars.
Okay, don't get
and
mad.
Then,
I'm
not.
sorry.
I just want to educate you.
Don't try to beat me up or anything. You look really angry for a second.
Angry because he's rewritten history.
Okay.
All right.
It was kind of his.
Hmm?
The problem, it was kind of his. He designed it. He made it, right? So... But what I don't think happened, I don't think he realizes how much it was going to be everybody else's. So I think the prequel was trying to take the power back from everyone else.
They want to archive this as a historically, pertinent film to America and take it and put it in the government's version of the Disney Vault or whatever. Yeah. They want to do that. And then he goes back and he mucks. I mean, it's one of the most culturally significant things America's ever produced. To at least certain
Even though it's the story itself is kind of a ripoff of another story in Japan. Mm-hmm. Even with the Force and everything else. I forget the name.
1/2, yeah.
Huh?
No, that's an anime.
Oh, okay.
About a kid who gets hexed by a witch or something. And
no, there's a story, and then he was a big fan of the Shogun series, too.
Well, he pulled from everywhere, that's fine. Everyone does that. Yeah. You can't not...
But down from the Force and the Luke, I'm your father thing and everything. There's a I fucking wish I remembered the name of it, but I actually didn't.
It sounds like someone's guess anyway, because he pulled from all kinds of sources.
Yeah.
It's the hero's journey story.
Yeah.
That kid gets...
It's an easy story.
Kid is an orphan.
Yeah.
Kid gets picked up by some sort of Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Or Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Kid gets told he's full of magic, which is great. Kid also has to kill someone who is the darkest thing in the universe. That's not so great. And they go on a hero's journey. That's the story, you know. And so that's the main crux of it. And then he pulled there's supposedly a movie called The Dam Busters, which tracks almost shot for shot with the trench run in the Death Star about World War II pilots trying to blow up a dam.
Yeah.
And supposedly there's an auto race movie that's exactly the pod race.
Oh, weird.
Except probably not a fucking 8-year-old is driving one of the cars.
Maybe. That'd be cool.
That would not be
Just
cool.
saying.
It wasn't cool then. It's not cool now. But so there was a big worry in society, and from the president on down. Will these new Star Wars be good, or will we all have to eat a gun?
Yeah.
And having gone and seen the movie, I will say, Star Wars has unraped my childhood. That's bullshit when people are like,
touch the doll.
Yeah, when people are like, the prequels raped my childhood. Oh, fucking eat me. It's your uncle that did that. Don't lay that at Lucas's feet. That minorly inconvenienced your adulthood.
Yeah.
The kid who played an 8-year-old Anakin Skywalker and just got a DUI, Star Wars raped his childhood.
Yeah,
all right? He can claim that. Hayden Christian Anderson, Star Wars raped his post-adolescent period. And Shia LaBeouf, Indiana Jones, raped his entire personality and caved him in. He's done.
That made me so mad.
Indiana Jones?
Yeah, my daughter, so that was her Star Wars. Indiana Jones, the 3 series. When she was like 3 or 4, I bought the box set on VHS because it was cheap at a thrift store, I think it was. And I still had a little, those TVs with the tape player underneath them? We had one of those, and she...
with the tape player, TV VCR combo.
Yeah. TV VCR combo. And, so she was really addicted to Indiana Jones, really bad from the get. Like the way that most kids watch a Disney movie, she watched Indiana Jones. Like every day, it was in the fucking tape player when she was younger. So when Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls comes out, I'm like, all right, cool. I get to take my daughter to see an Indiana Jones movie in the theater. Worst piece of shit. Pissed me off so fucking much. I mean, Zoe liked it because she was like 10 or 11. I'm fucking so mad at it. So angry at it. While I'm watching, I'm like, all right, it's kind of cool and it's kind of Indiana Jonesy, but they ruined it with the whole aliens thing at the end and the fucking... Yeah,
that takes a pretty big turn from the source material.
It just... It kicks it a totally different direction. It pissed me off so much.
It's just... Well, Harrison Ford also is... He's a tired old man at this point.
Crotchety old bastard.
Yeah.
God damn it.
And he's like, can I play him as a crotchety old man? I suppose, Harrison.
Yeah, go ahead.
George Lucas I think George Lucas was actually abducted by aliens right before Radioland murders and replaced with some sort of pod person because he lost it. Like he just doesn't understand what it was that connected about the original Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, there's other movies. He probably thinks along these lines. I don't want to speak for George Lucas because I can't do the impression. But
just do
the prequels, fine. Just everything is a bad Schwarzenegger impression. As if I'm a stand-up comedian in LA after that election where the governor, everyone was doing that. Yeah. He definitely lost touch with what made those movies so staying for people. Because you look back at those stand up. And a lot of stuff from our childhood does not stand up. Go back, like I've said before, try and watch an episode of the A-Team and not just want to go back in time and slap your 10-year-old self. Because it's really not so great. But you're like, people really cared about this.
Yeah.
And there's a nice, simple story. It's very basic, good and evil, princesses and stuff. A little bit ahead of its time with the princess being a bit of a feminist,
Yeah.
She needs to be rescued, but then she totally takes charge. Starts shooting bad guys,
the
throwing
whole
people
time,
down garbage cans. Yeah. Stands up for herself.
I think this is what happened. I think when you're young, it's kind of like how they say, like, when you're young, you tend to vote liberal, and then when you get older, you vote more Republican.
Tend to ruin movies.
Yeah. So that's the old saying. I think when he was younger, he was more in touch with what everyone else wanted from his movies, even though it was his. I think he took a lot of pride in them, but he was more connected with everybody in the world. You know what I mean? Or at least the time period.
This is,
And then as he got older, I think he just totally like put himself away in a closet somewhere and then made shit.
this is a question I've perhaps spent too much of my life thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I often will drive 12 hours at a stretch to go to a gig or something,
Yeah.
so I have time to think about these things, or I could just be listening to My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard.
Police.
He made what to him was going to be a movie. Hey guys, I want to make this movie. It's wacky.
Yeah.
It's got like a big monkey dog thing in it that flies a spaceship, and they really didn't want him to make it, but they're like, well, you did pretty good on American Graffiti. We'll give you a shot with this. We'll give you a small amount of money. You make it. He goes and makes it, looks at it, and it's crap.
Yeah.
Initially. Him and his wife look at it. His wife's an editor. He's an editor. This is not good.
Yeah.
So they cut a lot of the things out in it. A lot of the things that younger people would not want to hear about at all. Like Luke being worried that the Empire was going to come nationalize his uncle's moisture farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Red Scare. Like, what is going on there?
Yeah.
George Lucas read an Ayn Rand novel that day. And, communism's bad. Put something about that in there. And just crap like that got taken out. They saved it in editing because he had the energy to do it. And that movie did well. And then came time they would make another one. No, too much. I got the broad strokes. Let's give it to this other guy.
Yeah.
Somebody else directs Empire.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Empire very much. But he finishes the story. Kind of with a puppet director, I think was this thing. Did he direct the third one, or did he hire it out but took a lot more control as a producer of directing it?
Yeah.
And the third one is also pretty good. I like it quite a bit. He never liked Empire, and the changes he makes to Empire in the special editions are worse than any changes he makes to any of the other ones, because it completely, Han Solo gets shot at, then shoots. Well, that's a thing that kind of
fucking
fundamentally undermines the character of Han Solo as a rogue.
Yeah.
But when Luke Skywalker is given the choice between joining his father or dying and chooses death, that is a major, major, major point for Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
To have him then scream like a fucking bitch as he's falling down that thing, because they added in a scream in that special edition that completely obliterates his character.
Yeah.
And that shows that Lucas didn't really understand those movies.
Yeah.
But he held on to the merchandising rights, and Fox, I think, ended up firing the guy who gave him that deal.
I would too.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, they never thought this movie was going to do crap. Even
Yeah.
if you watch the original trailer for it, you're like, they do not believe in this film at all.
Yeah.
You're like, go to space and pet a doggy. Or it's like really weird.
It just hit. I think it just.
Well, he was right at the time.
Yeah.
But it was just something he wanted to do. And Indiana Jones was something he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then I think these other ones were very opportunistic.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you know what I'd really like to do is
Make a fuck
see
ton of
what I
money.
can do with digital.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the first one, let's do one scene in digital.
Yeah.
They did one scene they shot with digital. And the next one, hey, what if we build entire sets in digital and do just about anything we ever wanted?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like crap. 6 years later, looking back at it, looks really bad. Not that, some of the effects in Return of the Jedi and Empire look bad years later also. But, okay, and then the third one, well, I guess I have to give them what they want. They wanted, so the first word is war on the crawl.
Yeah.
And stuff, but he really didn't get it, and I think he's alternately felt burdened with it and not burdened with it. But the interesting thing is, there's some eccentric rich people in this world of
Are there?
ours. Yeah, one of them's running for fucking president. Actually, there's a lot of them running for president,
Yeah.
but the bull fucking moose crazy one of the whole fucking country, Donald Trump, is
Rubio?
currently running. Yeah, it's a hard pick, right?
Yeah.
But there's it's different. You're living on a whole different level.
Yeah.
This guy built a ranch out in the middle of nowhere, and he became one of the most famous people in the world, even though he's never even done a cameo in one of his films.
Yeah.
And invented this product, and everyone builds this thing up, and he's got people around him that never tell him no, and he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And in all of that goes through a divorce also.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this is, starting in his early 20s.
Uh-huh.
That would really affect a person.
Yeah,
So there's
totally.
no answer to this question.
I don't expect him to make great things after, like, if you.
I just expect him to be short and fat and kind of waddle and speak in that weird little way he speaks, and that's all. Go cure malaria. Thank you for fucking finally selling it to someone who understands it.
Do you
Thank
remember
for
finding
making
out?
it.
Do you remember when you found out that Disney bought it?
I remember finding out, and my buddies over at Down in Front doing an emergency podcast when they found that out. They all work in the film industry.
Emergency!
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, lightsabers.
I have so
going
much
out.
shit to talk about.
they're all, well, we get to work on them and this and that, because they're all effects guys,
Oh,
a lot
okay.
of them,
Yeah.
and people are Skyping into that, and we don't even know what to think. I mean, Star Wars brought a lot of people to the film industry.
Oh yeah.
They wanted to make Star Wars, and some of them, poor bastards, worked their whole lives to get there, thinking there would never be another Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then they finally get there, and they're drawing a cartoon rabbit, that people always thought, people always accused the Jar Jar character of being racist and like a caricature of a black character. But I always thought he sounded more like the hooker in Full Metal Jacket. Me so honey. That's what I was always expecting. I found it racist in a different way. So, you find the racism that you want in
Or
the
you
movies that you enjoy.
I when I found out, I was with a bunch of friends of mine, and they're like, Disney's gonna fucking ruin it. I was like, no, whoa.
Mm.
First of all, Disney doesn't make always the best movies, but they'll pour shit tons of money into them to make them good. And I'm like, if they get the right director, we're good, and they'll be able to toss all the money they want at it, and they'll market it, but they'll sell it, but they will. I think they'll answer the call that George Lucas is out of touch with.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, no, and then it's just slowly information about it starts coming out. Then as soon as JJ was signed, I was like, yeah, Rusty was right. Yeah,
I remember.
As soon as JJ got signed, I was like, fuck yes, we're good. You gave it to the nerdiest dude out there.
Well, he already made 2 Star Wars movies and called them Star Trek. And
awesome. Are we gonna do the spoiler? We're gonna talk about the new one yet?
I did want to talk about this movie a little bit without even spoiling it, and just say, well, when you saw the opening, the Star Wars crawl, how was your theater doing?
Not good.
No?
Not good. A guy actually, and this is bad, a guy actually died in the theater that we were watching it at. He died. A cardiac arrest, pretty sure.
Yeah.
And this wasn't the movie. This was actually in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
We all sat down. We all hunkered down to watch the movie. I'm there with my kid, and there's other families. And
this is 4 a.m, by the way.
4 a.m.
One of the first showings.
Yes.
You've been looking forward to this for, oh my goodness, since before we started this podcast. You've been talking about this to me, I think, that you've had these tickets and you're going to make your child get up at 4 in the morning or 3:30.
And I did.
You can wake her up 3:30 in the morning to go see Star Wars. And you guys,
I woke her up at like 2:15.
You're going to remember this the rest of your life, honey.
I woke her up way early because I wanted. I didn't. I didn't
you
want
have
to miss
video
it.
of this online, and
I do.
So people can't see what I'm looking at right now. But you're dressed in Star Wars stuff, and you're so happy, and it's like a kid waking his parents up for Christmas. Except this is a grown-up waking his daughter up and she is so like, what? It's just barely after last call. She's never been up this late in her life.
It was like 2:15 in the morning when I recorded it, and we have 2 hours before the movie starts, and the theater's 15 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so these are pre-sale tickets. Did you have to wait in line at all?
No, I pre-sold.
How full was this theater at 4 a.m?
So here's the thing: I show up with my other buddy, who's also a Sith Lord. He's the Lord, not the Dark Lord. I'm the Master. Anyways, he's second in command. I'm third.
Hang on. What's the middle?
Huh?
He's the Lord.
So there's Dark Lord, which is my buddy Woody. Then Lord, which is Adam, and then Master of Arms, me, and then Inquisitor John Wexler. Those are the 4, and then
Woody,
we have Acolytes
Adam,
and Marauders.
Rusty, and John.
Yeah,
the Sith Lords.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, the top 3, me, Woody, and Adam, those aren't even our real names. we realize they're like, well, shit, none of us use our real name.
For tax purposes. The Sith Lords are, it's hard to be evil in modern society. They're all horrible tax cheats. So you and your buddy. So yeah, we show up to the theater, and he's way early too because he couldn't sleep either. Mm-hmm. So we're there, and Adam's like, you know what? So get a hold of Woody. He said to me here at 3:30, but it's probably going to be busy. I was like, everyone bought their tickets online. It's not going to be busy. He's like, call Woody anyways. So we woke everybody else up way early too and got them. We were like, man, the lines are so long. You got to come down here just to get everybody to the theater because we were so excited. Completely selfish. Utterly selfish. We just wanted to hang out with our friends and be just as excited as, so we get in the theater and everyone's there. And about 4 minutes into the movie or so, this guy starts snoring. And he's...
just out of nowhere, and it's 4 a.m, so we figured the guy's sleeping. Fell asleep, and a lady goes, "Are you kidding me?" Just pissed
Very
at him.
upset,
Yeah, because he's snoring, and it's loud. It's a loud snore, and it kind of dies down, and then he snores again, and then I saw actually somebody race past and try to find somebody through the theater, and it turns out the guy was starting to die. He's a snore sounds a lot like a death rattle, I guess. I don't want to make it funny or anything.
Yeah.
I don't, but like, yeah.
So he did eventually pass away in the theater.
In the theater. Well, so the thing is, the family, he was there with his whole family. He's an older guy. He's like 65, probably a huge Star Wars fan from way back. And
or just loved his family, or both.
Yeah.
Could be both.
Doesn't really matter. He was just there, but he was there with like 8 of his family members, and they start freaking out. Somebody asked for a doctor, or if anyone was in there, and somebody ended up giving him CPR, or trying to give him CPR. Called the paramedics. Paramedics continued the CPR, and he was taken out. And nobody really knew whether to watch the movie or not. It was this weird feeling. I had friends that I came with that are in the Sith Lords that left because they just couldn't handle it, and they didn't want to think about all this dark shit while the movie's going on.
Yeah, it's Star Wars. It's supposed to be happy.
Yeah, and my daughter's there, and so it was weird. She's 14, so her dealing with death kind of thing, and I remember having a conversation with her and just going, well, I mean, death happens, so it was rough only because it was he's the parent. The guy that died is the parent of these 8 people that are there. So it's his son and his daughter, and they've lost it because their dad just died, and so it was fucking intense. But they started the movie up.
Aside from that, Miss Lincoln, what did you feel about the play?
Oh shit! I guess that would be kind of Ended up staying and watching the movie.
So this is an interesting thing to have to go back. But so when the crawl happens, this guy is alive.
Yes.
And no one knows he is going to die.
Yes.
What was the tone of the theater when Star Wars goes shooting off into the background?
Awesome.
Did the place explode?
It wasn't. No, the weird thing. Okay, it's 4 a.m, so I get it. If you saw it at like midnight, a midnight showing, like first showing or whatever.
I've never been to a midnight showing. I hear they're awesome.
I could see people losing their fucking mind, but it's 4 a.m. Like no one's had their coffee yet. It's very like it was
people
more
are
subdued.
Scamming this ahead of work. Most of them. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to work right after this. I showed up to work late so I can see this. I lost my shit. I like hooted and hollered, and there was like 4 other people that did with me, and people were clapping as soon as the score hit. As soon as that started, it was like boom. Everyone kind of lost their mind, and then I can't talk any further. I wait till we make the spoiler break or whatever we're gonna do.
Well, we can talk a little bit about it without spoiling.
Yeah.
This movie feels like Star Wars.
Yeah.
When I watched it, I expected to feel that roller coaster sensation you feel when you hit the peak and start going down.
Yeah.
When I saw The Crawl.
Yeah.
That's what I remember in 97. That's what I remember the Jar Jar Binks files.
Yeah.
That did not happen.
Yeah.
It was a good 8 minutes into the movie, I think, before I go, hey, it is a Star Wars movie. Like it really is. Yeah. I'm like looking out. I have such PTSD from the prequel trilogy that I'm like, is there going to be some goddamn hooker rabbit thing running around here? Me so horny. I was like looking, but they did it. They nailed it. They freaking nailed it.
I think it's purely because J.J. Abrams told Disney, like, if you're hiring me to do this, you need to keep your fucking paws off of it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it well. Like you can know the conversation. He fought for
certain things. He fought to do a lot of practical effects work in this.
Not Muppets, animals back there.
Oh, Yoda's technically a Muppet.
Yeah. He wanted real puppets. He wanted real like stunt work, wire work. That a lot of it is done.
Here's what helps. Also, J.J. Abrams is a parent. Who's a child who likes Star Wars.
Yeah.
George Lucas is a parent, but he keeps going back and re-adding things that his children's childhood
didn't have.
Yeah, he goes back to like pictures of them when they were younger and puts like a dinosaur walking through the fucking picture.
We're gonna give him a bigger nose and
old home videos. He adds screams where there's no screams supposed to be. It's totally changing. They don't even know who they are. These poor little fucks. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna take a break, I think, and then we will come back and talk about this movie in a little bit more detail. And we'll try and keep this episode to an hour and a half. So we're at 49 minutes now.
Yep.
We'll get 40 more minutes. And hey,
yeah.
So in the break, if you have not seen this and you don't want to be spoiled, turn it off. Pause it. Come back to it. Your iTunes or whatever will save it in the right position for you later. If you do want to hear our thoughts on the movie, come on back after the break. All right. So you've been warned. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, welcome back to Spoiler Territory. Rusty, how did you feel about Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens?
Killed Han!
Oh, that is true.
They killed Han. So
they kill Han. No, now you've been fully spoiled.
Completely.
Yeah.
They fucking killed Han.
He gets eaten by the Sarlacc pit while fighting Boba Fett. It's pretty badass.
It's fucking great.
Boba Fett's the only guy who can take him down. Wow, you're really spoiling. So
it was hard to take. It was really hard to take. First, to find out that Han and Leia had a kid, which I was, I kind of felt like it was going to happen.
You had to deal with 2 deaths that evening.
I think Han might have affected me more. His calluses, that sounds. I mean, my heart goes out to the family of the dude. But I don't look at death very badly. So,
well, here's the thing. This movie is 30 years after the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Which is a smart move. When they go, we're going to bring back Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford.
Even Chewie. Same dude.
Chewie, same guy?
Yep.
You go, oh, are they just going to be like in the background somewhere smoking a cigarette or drinking some space Java or something? No, they're pretty primary characters.
Flat out.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
The way to do that is obviously not have it happen day and a half after the Endor. In the incident at Endor, that false flag operation there at the Endor that the Empire used to pass that spy bill.
No, they did such a great job with like leading it into it, and you're kind of when you find out it's his son, I blew my fucking mind. I was like, I knew that it was going to be kids, but I figured it was going to be Luke's kids. I figured for some reason I didn't think about because obviously the black dude isn't Leia and Han's kid. The chick's not Leia and Han's kid. So
I knew very little about this going in. I intentionally didn't because people were speculating a lot. Now I don't want to know. If they nail it, they nail it.
I was just kind of guessing.
So what this movie is kind of a retread of A New Hope. In a way. It's kind of the same story.
I think it mashed all the three together.
It definitely hits the tone. That was the big thing for me. Is it going to hit the tone of Star Wars? It's going to feel, just a little bit gritty. It doesn't need to be Aliens gritty. It doesn't need to be like dark James Cameron machine guns versus acid blood, stuff like that.
It just needs to be about the fucking people.
It needs to be about the people. They need to seem to exist in a universe that's bigger than the story we're telling right now, which they totally do throughout the entire thing. The point a couple times I found a little annoying because I go, oh, is this character just in here to sell me something else? I worry about that a little bit because Disney, they're never going to stop. If you were worried before about not getting a Star Wars, you'll get a Star Wars something every year for the rest of your life at this point because it's that good of a franchise, and Disney, that's how Disney does it. They seem to be treating this a little with more respect than they treated, let's say, the Aladdin sequels, which were dog shit. You know what I mean? Like, they understand this property. They really do. They pick people who understand the property. But it's kind of the same overarching premise as the first movie, and that you have a young character who's more or less an orphan swept up into intergalactic civil war. Which is a great story.
But along with her, they sweep up the stormtrooper guy, Finn.
And they broaden it. And they change the stormtroopers. Stormtroopers in this aren't shitty fucking clones.
Yeah.
I hated that.
Well, I think some of them are.
Hmm.
I don't think
There was a
that
line
it's all...
that said, yeah, maybe that we could use clones or we could use it. At least they're not using the fucking robots to look like shitty vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
They fucking suck.
Yeah.
You could just take them apart with an
Shitty
Allen
vacuum
wrench.
cleaners
The
that
fucking
fucking
IKEA
suck.
army. Yeah, they quit
Punny.
using those things. But yeah, now stormtroopers are abducted like Master Chief at a young age and brainwashed into being stormtroopers, which is much better.
Yeah.
Still not initially when I watched Star Wars, I figured stormtroopers were just dudes.
Yeah.
Didn't think there was anything special about them. They're just dudes.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of the idea initially with Star Wars, was that Luke had option to just go join the Empire. That was part of his thing.
I don't know how much of the...
Now they're slaves.
I don't know how much of the prequels were like in Lucas's head beforehand.
None.
Well, then the Clone Wars thing kind of doesn't make sense.
The Clone Wars is thrown out there.
Yeah.
He said, "You fought with my father in the Clone Wars?"
Exactly.
I don't think he ever had an idea.
Okay.
Past,
well, it makes sense that would be the clones.
It sounds like an awesome thing.
Yeah.
The Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Clones, but they're just so lame.
Yeah.
Brainwashed, advanced aging, blah, blah, blah.
They're
It got into
Boba
such
Fett.
Star Trek territory, which
Yeah.
Star Trek is a perfectly fine franchise. It's made a buck or two. It seems to have a fan or two.
Yeah.
But that's not what I go to a Star Wars movie for.
I like what they did.
Metachlorians is not. I don't want to pull out your fucking tricorder and get metachlorians out of the fucking kid and have a conversation with another guy about metachlorians.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how do we get... No.
I like how they didn't mention metachlorians at all in this.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice.
So supposedly the original prequel trilogy is still canon.
Yeah.
But this can totally function. I hope this was a note somebody gave that goes, hey, listen, people fucking hate the prequels.
Yeah.
I want this to function just on the back of the original trilogy.
I don't think that nobody had to tell J.J. Abrams that. I think he was such a fan anyways that I think he knew not to mess with it, honestly. I give a lot of credit to the guy.
Well, what in the prequels could you, with a straight face, have a character in this reference? And you could have someone go, I've heard of the Jedi and all this and how they beat the Empire. You can't go, I heard that two dudes had a volcano lightsaber fight. It just sounds stupid because it's a stupid idea. It's way over the top.
I love how they made
some sort of Dr. Evil layer.
They even made the first three, not the first three, the 4, 5, and 6. They made those mythology to the main character in the new one. Brilliant.
Yep.
Brilliant. And then to have Han Solo
that's even
completely...
kind of telegraphed a little bit at the end of at Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Because you've got C-3PO, right? Telling a story to the Ewoks with R2-D2 functioning as an effects board, making little noises. And if you listen to what he's doing, it's just kind of, they're just kind of panning around or whatever, just kind of moving through it. He's telling the Ewoks the entire original trilogy story.
Yeah.
And R2-D2, so they're becoming mythology right there.
Yeah.
I don't know how big of a social circle the Ewoks have, but you figure some of them
could send
probably
some
got
email
taken
out, I'm
off
sure.
planet after that.
On a wood computer.
Yeah. Well,
By this time, I'm sure the Ewoks are more
but that was already an
steampunky.
idea, right? That they were becoming mythology.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Ewoks have gone kind of cyberpunk. Their little, like, Terminator Ewok, like half
awesome.
Ewok face, half robot face.
That wasn't in the movie. Should have been. Might be. I have a feeling Ewoks are going to come back.
You
For
think
some
so?
reason. Yeah, I do. I do. They were a little too... I mean, a lot of people hate them for, like, they're just there to be cute for kids and sell toys and everything. But I think legit, I think they're going to be back. Something tells me... I don't know what. I feel like they're going to go back to Endor. It's just a guess.
You know what I really appreciated about this movie? There's a desert planet, right? And everybody's going, Tatooine, Tatooine, Tatooine. I'm so fucking glad it wasn't fucking Tatooine. I don't understand the choice in the prequel trilogy of making the galaxy 6 planets wide.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe that Coruscant was gone.
Yeah.
But I guess I'd done a little reading on the internet. Coruscant didn't get wiped out. And this one, which kind of bugs me out. Because I was like, hey, it'd be great is if they fired that massive fucking gun at the prequel trilogy and erased it from fucking existence. That's what I thought would be really awesome.
I did think the Death Star planet thing was unnecessary, kind of. I
so let's run
realize
through the broad strokes.
Okay.
What you've got is, because now we're just not making any sense. There will be some people that listen to this and are just like, I just want to know what it's about. I'm never going to go see the movie.
Yeah.
So, but we're just confusing the shit out of that weird person.
That one
Whoever
guy.
that, yeah.
Whatever. Everyone else saw it. If they
Mom,
haven't seen it past here.
It's a bad podcast. So it starts out on this planet Jakku, Luke Skywalker is missing, MIA, for years. He's very upset because somebody killed all the people he was trying to train to be Jedi.
Yeah.
Which Jedi go down like nothing, man. Like, they're really easy to kill, apparently. But that's a good choice, too, because the stronger part of the original trilogy was that there are not a lot of Jedi in the galaxy.
Yeah.
There are just a few, and they got this thing to go on. So people are looking for Luke, because Leia's still working with the Rebellion. They rebranded. They're now called the Sith Lords. That's not true. What are they called? They're called something else.
The First Order.
No, that's the Empire. The Empire, yeah, they did a rebranding,
They're
too.
still the Rebels.
You loved us as Comcast, but now we're Xfinity. Because honestly, you hated us as fucking Comcast. They've reorganized. They're now the First Order, and they're employing slave troopers.
Yeah.
Stormtroopers are now slave troopers.
Yep.
And they're looking for Luke Skywalker also, because there's a little unfinished business.
Well, yeah.
So everyone's looking for Luke. You got a pilot lands on this planet to pick up a piece of a map.
Yeah.
And his little droid takes it. His little droid is what? BB-8.
BB-8, which is awesome. I thought it was cool.
It's a great character design.
Yeah, it's kind of a nod,
so cool.
but it works. It works better as a droid because look, R2D2 R2D2 can't go through that much sand.
Mm-hmm.
In the first movie, I'm like, his wheels would get all fucked up. There goes his bearings.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe if someone would flip the switch on R2 to remind him that he could fly, he'd have a lot easier time in the original trilogy, because I hate that they bolted on powers to him retroactively.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. If you're making a prequel, you can't make things have stuff that they didn't have in the future movie.
So, they Poe, who is going to be a huge character later, he's part of the Rebel Alliance. He was getting a piece of the map for where Luke is at.
Mm-hmm.
From
someone who you think's going to be an analog for Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
But he's not.
Nope.
He's just an old guy, wears a robe.
And he dies. And I'm sure he's a character in the I want to say he's part of the one of the guys from number 3, episode 3.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I want.
Shouldn't he be like 1,000
really
years
familiar,
old now?
But I don't know if it was.
You think he's just an actor from that?
Wait, was he the Game of Thrones guy?
I don't know.
He looks like the Lannister dude.
He's the Rebels' most badass pilot.
Oh, Poe is, yeah. I was saying the old guy that.
The old guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
Just he's one of the guys you call when you.
And Poe will be in the he's.
He seems like a pretty major character.
Yeah, I think.
So he goes there. He's trying to do it. He's got a heart of gold, so he can't. The Empire's coming. They're just going to wipe out this village. The Empire is pretty down and dirty in this. I think more than any other movie.
Yeah, they don't fuck around. They just kill everybody.
They just go in and wipe them out.
Yep.
And if they don't get the information they want, they'll just leave a trail of bodies in their wake.
And there's that stormtrooper Finn who ends up being Finn later. I like how they play him as like he's trying to do his job, but he's noticing, and he gets the emotion across with the body language. But he looks like something's wrong. He sees the guy get shot, and it's a little like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he loses another stormtrooper, I think.
Yeah, a guy another stormtrooper gets shot in front of him, and he like wipes his face across, and there's blood from one stormtrooper. There's Finn's
3 fingerprints down his face, so now you know that this is a stormtrooper you should care about.
Yeah.
Kind of a clunky way of doing it, but how else are you going to do it?
Yeah.
The other way to do it, maybe put a phaser blast against him, but then you don't have him learning a valuable lesson about the value of life. So this stormtrooper's acting a little funny. And comes time to wipe out the whole village. The big bad's
you first
there.
See Kylo Ren, which is like great mask design, great costume. I liked everything about it. When he lands with the Force, he stops.
Yeah, our rebel pilot fires a bolt at him, and we get our first new Force power in this movie.
He just stops.
He
the fucking
freezes this blaster thing.
Yeah,
I think they're going to define these as not lasers in the new, because they don't work like lasers. They work like awesome bullets. They work. He gets shot at and he just stops it with his mind.
Yeah,
which is
I lost my shit in the theater when I saw that part.
Not only does he do that, but he has a long monologue after that.
Yeah,
and he'd take that guy, the rebel guy, with us. We're gonna interrogate him.
Kind of torturing a dude, then killing a dude,
and we're gonna go wipe out the rest of this village. Looks at our other stormtrooper guy with the red marks on his face.
Yeah,
and he's like, something's up with him. That laser blaster thing is just sitting in midair, frozen the whole time. And you're like, oh, is that like he probably just did it and now he doesn't have to attend to it? But then when he walks away, it completes
he lets it go.
Yeah. and hits something. You're like, oh, so he was doing that the whole time.
Yeah, he was holding
which
that
establishes him as potentially more dangerous than we've ever seen a bad Jedi be, because nobody can do that.
Yeah. I mean,
Even Darth Vader was catching him with his glove.
Yeah. Or stop, yeah.
But he's got a robot's arm.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, so badass.
Yeah. And so you go, wow, this is legit. And it's kind of tracking with the first. We got like droids got some plans they need. Basically a schematic of some sort. It's a map. It's not quite the same as the plans for the Death Star, but it's a thing.
Yeah.
And he hooks up with our new Luke Skywalker-esque character, who's a girl. That's when I walked out of the movie. A girl Jedi. What year is it? Fuck this noise.
Yeah.
Nah, she is a badass too.
She is amazing. She's a scrapper or whatever, trying to get food. Basically, is all she's working for.
Yeah.
And ends up getting
and moving around amazing set pieces. Like, what's she crawling around in? Oh, it's a crashed Star Destroyer.
Dude, the Star Destroyer in the sand. When I first saw it in the trailer,
is her house an X-wing where she lives?
It's a
crash.
No, it's a Landwalker.
Oh yeah.
From you see him on Hoth in
Empire Strikes Back. Yeah.
It's a busted out walker.
So she's living in the wreckage of the first trilogy and the stuff that's happened after it. And she makes her living just finding little pieces of stuff and turning them into some pawn shop dealer who pays in food because he's a piece of shit.
Yep.
That is the Oliver
and she
Twist.
Ends up the droid.
The droid hooks up with her. It's not trying to hook up with her. It's someone else who's a scrapper is trying to steal it.
Yeah. Yep.
Which seems like, it's something that often happens. The Jawas just pick up some droids and sell them. There's droids out there alone.
It wasn't a Jawa, though.
No, it's just some guy.
Other creature.
It's some
creature. Because Jawa's not on...
riding a horse. No, there ain't no
it's a different
Jawas.
planet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And she stops him doing that. She seems to have a relationship with him because, again, we're living in a universe that has a larger world.
Yeah.
And the droid imprints on her like a werewolf in Twilight. They form a bond.
More like a puppy.
Yeah.
But okay.
Still, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me that a droid would do that, but it doesn't. It's okay.
Well, yeah, no, it doesn't
Maybe
make a lot
it
of
has
sense.
Force detectors in it or something.
But
it
has
should just keep doing what it was told to do.
Yeah.
But
It's still, I guess it's still technically doing what it's supposed to do. It always trips me out that everyone can understand droids.
Only certain characters, though.
Yeah, but it's
like,
still like...
the stormtrooper that she hooks up with later can't understand that droid at all.
Yeah.
He has to... the droid can understand everyone. I love that it seems like there's this horrible bureaucracy going on where someone's, I'm going to build a robot that can hear English and respond to it, but fuck the extra 8 cents of putting in a speaker that does more than chirp.
Well,
maybe their speaker technology is different. Maybe it's made out of GAC and lasers. I don't know.
GAC.
Yeah. It's different galaxy, But, yeah, so then we got Darth Vader doing some interrogation up there. What's his name? Kylo Ren?
Kylo Ren.
Yeah. Interrogating, trying to find out about Kyla. Oh, fuck it. We've ruined it. No one will ever remember the name again. I think Kylo...
So he's torturing Poe, who's
he's sucking information out of his mind.
Yeah.
Finds out it's that droid.
Yep.
And...
Holy shit.
He's supposed to die, right? Poe's supposed to be thrown into space.
Poe is going to be maybe her family later on.
Nah.
Don't think?
They've met already.
I know they've met.
I don't
it's
think...
not like Leia and Luke
So she's an orphan. Oh, please. I hope they don't. I'm not oh-pleasing you. I'm oh-pleasing the idea that everyone in the galaxy is no more than a third cousin. Fuck that.
Well, it's kind of Earth, too.
Earth is one planet. A galaxy is a thing so big, even if a supernova explodes, doesn't fucking pose a threat to a galaxy. Star Trek writers. It's fine for her to be just completely abandoned by dickhead parents. I think that's completely fine.
There's going to be something with her parents, too. They wouldn't have shown that shot of her, like, crying and the ship flying away if it wasn't going to be in there later. There's going to be something with her parents. I promise you.
You know what else you promised me?
What?
Luke Skywalker would be evil. You promised me that 3 times.
I'm still not convinced he's not.
It's 3 times you promised.
Not convinced.
Yeah?
I'm not convinced he's not going to be evil.
Yeah, you don't see
convinced. Yeah, he's
Luke
probably
until...
not going to be evil. Because at the end, I mean, at the end, they finally find him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great scene.
Yeah.
Such a great scene. I love that they took forever for her walking up the stairs to find him and everything. And I skipped all of the
It
movie to
took
get to this part, but
a
still.
long time
Yeah.
for her to, man. Yeah. So, to get out of his bad situation, this rebel pilot, what's his name? Do you know his name?
The rebel pilot's Poe.
Poe. Okay.
Poe. Yeah.
Okay. Edgar Allan Poe is up on this spaceship. And to get out of this situation, the stormtroopers had to change a heart, and he knows he's probably due for some reprogramming, because we established later that these guys are grabbed at birth and brainwashed into being stormtroopers. And so he's like, I'll just rescue the guy, and he'll fly for me, because I don't know how to fly, because I'm not that kind of stormtrooper. Puts him in a thing. They do a good escape.
Yep. They do a great escape, and that's where Poe actually names him Finn.
Dies. Oh, yeah, because his name is like...
FN 49260 or something like that.
That's exactly what it was.
Was it? It
I don't
might
know.
be. I don't know.
I have no idea.
But they give him a name, and they crash land on the planet that she's at with the droid. So,
And Poe dies.
Yeah.
Sorry, Poe. And then...
Yeah, the whole ship goes under.
This is where I actually started to really enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
That's where I go. They are really respecting the source material, because he thinks he's going to save this girl.
He just found what doing good was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you can tell it in his face. The actor did a great job. It's almost like he's a kid.
He's out of the helmet by this point.
Yeah. He's out of the helmet.
That'd be horrible if they made him play the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they have a unitard on under there.
Yeah.
He's wearing like a black leotard. And it's like, oh, being a stormtrooper's kind of gay, actually.
He did a great job of just, like, acting kind of like a kid. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing, but he just found that doing good makes him feel good.
And she's about to get jumped, and he thinks I'm a stormtrooper. I'm going to
save
bust in
the
there and
girl.
save her. And before he can even make the 3 steps towards her to do it, she's leveled these two guys.
Yeah. It's a piece of shit out
But
of
then
him.
the Empire is coming for him.
Yeah.
And coming for that map, which they know is down there, and that droid. And there's like 3 or 4 times when he thinks he's going to save her, or he takes her by the hand, and she's like shrugging him off and totally subverting his idea of masculinity and all this, like, or this concept that, this damsel in distress thing that would be in a lot of movies. She's like, nope, not having it. I will do it. I'm really good with my staff and stuff like that.
She pisses him out, like, stop grabbing my hand. Stop it. It's fucking rad.
And then they escape on a boring spaceship.
No,
is that not what happens? What happens, Rusty?
They're running away, and
they're going to get on like some shiny new ship, right?
No, Finn goes, let's just take that ship, but it doesn't show the ship. And then he goes, no, we'll take this one. And they're running towards the good one, and it gets blown up. All right, garbage it is. And they run to the garbage ship. So rad. They get in the ship, but it doesn't show the ship, and then it just shows it taking off, and then
it's
like
covered
a car
in tarps.
cover for your car. They just covered the Millennium Falcon, and they're taking off with the Millennium. I lost my shit in the theater. I fucking lost my shit. I did.
Oh yeah.
I yelled so fucking loud, like I was the only one in the theater screaming.
Well, this aside from there might have been a little lightsaber action ahead of this. I think he had his lightsaber out a little bit ahead of this. Maybe the bad guy.
Yeah.
But this is the first direct. Like everything else is just talked about.
Yeah.
This is the first straight up visual callback to the
This
other.
happened.
Yeah.
Which
To
I
the
love
rebel
that they-
side anyway, because there's a lot of Imperial stuff.
Yeah.
It's like almost
There's
as
TIE
if
fighters
who
and
our
stuff.
heroes going to be. Well, now we know.
Well, the first nod, I guess, would have been the X-wing in the very beginning.
There's X-wing too.
Yeah. But
this sequence.
Yeah.
Her being all Princess Leia 2.0 and Luke Skywalker 2.0 at the same time. Like, she's a bad fighter. She's good pilot. She's legit, and she ain't taking no crap from nobody. Doesn't matter her situation. I'm not here for you to rescue me. I'm going to rescue myself.
Yeah.
You can come along if you want.
And they take off,
Mhm.
and they escape the rebel, and then get a ship comes and sucks them in. They get
And they
sucked
think
into
it's the
sector beam.
Empire.
Yeah, and they, obviously, I thought it was the Empire. It's just this big ship that swallows the Millennium Falcon whole.
Mhm.
Who should it be? Who opens the door as Rey and Finn hide? Fucking Han Solo
And Chewbacca.
Chewie.
And they'd been working on hooking up this thing. If the stormtroopers come in here, we can gas them all. You said that thing was going to release poisonous gas.
Yeah.
So Han Solo and Chewie come in. Chewie, we're home. Then the poisonous gas kills both of them.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Short movie, too.
Movie done.
Yeah.
Did a good job. You'd think with that many years of prepping, they would have made it a bit
That's
longer.
the best 45 minutes of movie I've ever seen in my life. Oh, wait, they don't kill Han Solo, do they?
No. He doesn't.
The writer-directors of this movie are cowards, and they did not do that.
Yeah, they kept going.
Yeah.
When they could have taken a stand and just ended it there.
Yeah, franchise done. Hi, I'm Michael Eisner. I'm here to shit in your mouth and stomp on your dreams. That's how I would have liked to see it go.
I love the part because they're hiding, and I love the first thing Han and Chewie do is they go to the fucking escape hatch that they always smuggled shit in, and there they are.
Mm-hmm.
They just lifted it up like, what are you doing in my ship?
That's where they used to hide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that because she knows the stories. She's like, this is Millennium Falcon. This is this is the best joke in the whole thing. She goes, this is the ship that made the Kessel Run in 14 parsecs. And then Han is like, 12. Like, dumb broad.
I don't think that was the subtext.
He didn't say dumb broad,
No.
but it was still like,
He said women have a smaller brain. No, he didn't say that. He's like, no, he's just upset that his legend isn't holding up.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and she wanted to know if everything was true, basically from the, from the
other
Empire and all
movies,
that,
yeah.
from the first.
She's like, is Darth Vader really like a good pod racer? When he was
not
a kid.
from those movies. She didn't mention dick about those movies. It was just the 4, 5, and 6. And she's mentioning all is the Jedi true and everything, and I love how Han just because in
This
the
is
first
a
3
soft
movies
flirt,
he kind of denies the Jedi shit,
Mhm.
right, in the first movie.
In the first movie, yeah, he's like, it's nothing.
He's kind of hardcore against it, and it was cool to see him validate it all in going, hey, all of the myths and shit that you've heard, it's all true.
Mhm.
All of it. And you're just like, oh, the fucking, that's awesome. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was a very good choice to make that mythology.
I need to go see it again. Sorry.
Yeah, I actually, about 2 hours after seeing it, went, I really want to go see it again.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to wait out the weekend.
Yeah.
Let everybody go. But you've got a lightsaber battle to get to anyway, so. You're all right.
Yeah, so they,
This is where, Han is like, well, Han immediately knows that the stormtrooper guy, Finn, is scamming some lovin', trying to. He's like, yay, chicks know.
Well, because he didn't.
They'll overlook it if you're Harrison fucking Ford and you lie to them.
It's hard to tell
But
somebody
you,
like
you, young man, you're no Harrison Ford. And then he punches him right in the teeth. Don't you try and usurp me.
it is. Finn has a weird position in the whole thing because he's not a.
He's lying to her. That's the thing. He's saying that he's part of the rebellion or whatever the new rebellion's called.
Yeah.
The Rebel Alliance. And and they're called the Alliance or the Resistance. That's what they're called.
Is it?
The Resistance. Yeah.
Resistance?
I don't know why they felt the need to change that. But he's saying he's part of that, and Han knows that he's lying. He's like, women are going to find out
Yeah,
the
you know a
truth.
little bit
Like,
too much about the fucking Imperium. Yeah, and he
few
says
things that
women
are...
always find out.
Which doesn't really follow for his character at all. He never really lies to anyone in the original trilogy. But it's cool that he's a wiser old man. He knows that, right? He's like, yeah, women find out. I'm not with my wife anymore, or I'm not with Leia.
Yeah.
And I just kind of steal stuff and do smuggling and stuff. I have some...
And then they get boarded,
I have
too.
those balls with faces on them. What's that movie called? Critters. I have some evil critters on this spaceship.
Oh, yeah. Because he's collecting those for the bounty, so he collected 3 of them.
He's going to put them into some sort of, like,
They remind me, you know what they remind me of?
Pokemon battle somewhere
That's
or something.
The thing. They look like, there was in Final Fantasy VII, the video game, there's a creature called a Marbro.
Oh, yeah?
Which breathes smoke on you, which, is funny. They look exactly like those.
Oh, really?
Like, dead on. They're big mouths.
These are the only obviously CGI creatures in the movie.
But still did really well.
I found this sequence kind of, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, Han's got to talk his way out of this. That doesn't work. And then they
end up in a big fight and
have the monsters eat them. Basically, that's their solution. But it's just there for pap, But all that whole thing is really there is so that they get rid of the other ship to force Han to be in the Millennium Falcon. It's because
kind of, yeah.
Because he has the Millennium Falcon in his bigger ship, and it's like, oh, he's just going to throw it in the garage, like, an old guy would. Maybe wash it once a week with his shirt off and try and hope and pick up some younger chicks. And that's like his whole deal. So they have to get him out of that. So, yeah, basically, that's what it always was. It's his jalopy, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's his hot rod.
It's his
how to avoid that, you have to have everyone almost get eaten by monsters. And a little bit of a nod to Han shooting first, because he throws a man into the monster to get eaten that he maybe didn't need to. You're like, oh, good, Han's back in that sense of the word.
I kept waiting the whole time. Whenever they were in a battle with Han Solo, I kept waiting.
Some sort of just slightly dirty kill.
Well, no, for him to just flat out say, I wanted him to go, don't wait to shoot them. Fucking shoot first.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great, yeah.
Or shoot first and ask questions later, or something like that. I was begging for it, but... Of course, that didn't happen, and Han's dead, so he can't do it later. Sad.
So they're back in the Falcon. They go visit a person he knows that's apparently a pirate that owns like a castle, a cool like little smuggler's den bar.
Yeah.
So you get a nod back to the Mos Eisley scene.
Yep.
And he's like, "Don't stare anyone down; they'll all try and rip your arm off."
Yeah. But of course. And that's where she finds the...
we get a great character here.
Yeah.
And the first, well, there's a pretty big nod to that Han's had a bunch of other adventures since he can't be tamed. Even if Han Solo is such a badass, he's not be child. Fuck it. I'm just going to go on my merry way and be Han Solo.
Yeah.
So he has a kid. We know that.
I think the idea is that him and Leia had a great relationship, even with their kid, but then when their kid went bad, that's what broke up Leia and Han.
Yeah, and that happens.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I was like, it was like they lost their kid to abortion or something. You know what I mean? Like he went to the dark side. He's gone now. We can't handle it. And he even says, whenever you look at me, I know you see him. Mm-hmm. Which was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's a good way of handling it.
That's heavy. That's some heavy shit.
And she can't not be in love with him, because it wasn't like she was attracted to him because he's a fucking choir boy. He's a motherfucking pirate.
Yeah.
So he's going back. I'm going to go back out on the road. You get the band back together. Me and my 8-foot dog man. And we're going to do some piracy. And that's what he does. He's trying to recapture his younger days. He's also a little tired. But they go and they meet this character who's, in the extended universe, we call them Force sensitive, but now we're into canon. This movie's canon, so...
Yeah.
Force sensitive exists in the canon as well.
She knows.
She can tell
something's up with Ren.
She knows that he is running from something.
Yeah.
And she also knows that, what's her name? Rey. Is, so she knows the Stormtrooper boy's running, and she knows that Rey is got the Force and has like a destiny.
See, and this is what alludes.
And she has really sweet ass goggles and animation. She's animated, but goddamn, is it good animation?
Yeah, it's amazing.
You do not put your animation that close to the screen if it sucks, and it nails it.
So what trips me out is why I think Rey's, and this is all just my speculation, why I think Rey is Luke's kid, is when she tests the lightsaber, she gets the flashback. She gets a major, in the future premonition.
So what happens is she goes downstairs just kind of off on her own, just wandering around this place.
Yeah.
And opens a chest that's kind of calling to her psychically, we find out.
Yeah.
And touches the lightsaber that was Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber that Obi-Wan picked up.
That turns out to be Luke's.
That was Luke's lightsaber that fell down into Cloud City, right? That's the last time I think we see that lightsaber is falling off when Luke loses his arm in Cloud City. That's probably the last time anyone ever sees that lightsaber. And it gives her this huge Force-induced flashback, which we only have ever seen anything comparable to in Dagobah.
Yeah.
At Yoda's Cave of Evil that he just maintained for all those years for some reason.
No, it was just
Yoda has a little part of his his little spread. He's like, most of it's just me meditating and stuff, and then I have a pit of despair over here. If people come over, I send them into it to test their character. Well, Yoda, why is there a psychic cave in your lawn? Just don't worry about it. But so there is some precedence for this, and it shows a sequence of amazing images.
Yeah. And some of which aren't even in this movie.
Yeah.
They're for the next fucking movie.
Yep.
The whole from the trailer when it has obviously Luke with the metal hand with his
Luke's
hand
upgraded, more badass looking Terminator hand.
Goddamn, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Touching R2, lightning, and it looks like there's a lot of badness coming up. But yeah, and she does not like this.
No. She hates it. She'll never touch that again, is what she said.
And she abandons the movie. She tries to. She runs away.
Yeah.
I can't deal with this movie. I have to get back to my shitty planet and wait for my shitty parents who fucking left me with no job.
Yeah.
At the age of like 3 to fend for myself.
There was somebody with her when they drove the spaceship away, though.
Hmm?
There's someone there with her.
Does she fly away?
No. It shows a scene of her as a kid and her parents flying away.
Oh, and someone's
her.
holding her. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, who the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Yeah. See,
we were interpreting this differently. I know there's someone there. I think it's probably the guy that just gives her a ration of food for every battery she finds or whatever.
I don't think that's the way it's going to work. I think that it'll shake out that she'll be
She doesn't
slightly
seem too
raised by
tight
somebody
with
and-
anybody else.
Yeah.
But I think it's just an orphan. I
Yeah.
don't think you need her parents to be in there. No.
I think there's going to be something.
If it works, it works. If
Yeah.
it doesn't, it doesn't. If they put it in, I hope not. I just hope.
Yeah.
That's
She
her,
just wanted to be
the
there.
basis of her backstory. Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know, but
The more
it's always
generic
been
she
about
is, the
family.
more you can imprint yourself on her.
Yeah. That's true.
It wasn't always about fantasy. That whole "I am your father"
Family.
thing was a total retcon.
Okay, but worked
Just
out.
like, hey, that'd be cool. That's why that was.
Yeah, but then
Yeah, it
Luke and
worked out.
Leia were always brother and sister,
No way.
weren't they?
No.
No? I don't
No.
think?
You really? You think that?
No, I don't know. Now
Hmm.
I'm kind of doubting myself.
Okay. So I'm George Lucas. I have this all planned out, right?
Mhm.
And then it'll be his dad. And also these two are brother and sister. They should make out like twice before they find that out. You really think that's the writing process
no,
that
I
went into
think-
Star Wars? Because they do. They open mouth kiss twice. They can't. They're not supposed to.
Yeah, but I don't think they. I mean, it falls under the idea that they didn't know that. Well, yeah, you're probably.
I don't think you put that in a
Whatever.
movie. You're like,
Fine.
I want to hit
Ruin-
that 14 to 8-year-old demo. Put a little retroactive incest plot in there. The rest of the movie, while great,
Loved it.
Yeah.
all the way around. Everything about it. The few.
the bad guy's really cool.
Yeah.
He's not invincible.
No.
Like, the
Just a
Emperor
human.
was overdone, I thought, in the prequels in his level of invincibility.
Yeah.
This guy's more human. He's not a robot.
Yeah.
That's cool. He
My
can-
brother actually, he saw it and he would point it out. He goes, "I don't like that how fucking whiny Kylo Ren was. Like
He's a lot less whiny than that Hayden Christian Anderson, I'll tell you that. He's whinier than... But when he
That's-
throws tantrums and stuff, the first couple times, you don't realize that he's just a young man.
Yeah.
Maybe 18 to 22, somewhere there. That's what he's playing.
But if they
in
go
these, other galaxy years.
like if they go by, I mean, if they have Hayden Christian Anderson being Darth Vader later on or whatever, Kylo Ren looks a lot like Hayden Christian Anderson as far as like physically. They do, but he doesn't look anything like Leia or Han.
No, he does not at all.
He looks
Almost such a difference in
Yeah.
skin tone that you're like, wait, he's from the south of Greece and they're Irish. Like, but he's done well. They shadow play out his boss pretty well.
yeah.
The only thing I didn't think that this movie needed, but it kind of needs, I think, in the production process, you go, well, the Empire needs another Death Star.
Yeah.
I guess. But even,
Sure.
we've had
But
enough
this
of
one
them
sucks
now
up sons.
that even Han Solo was like, a Death Star? That's like cake. We take out Death Stars without even getting out of bed. So it kind of removes the tension there.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea. Yeah, we have a Death Star that can suck up a sun and then blow up 30 or 40 planets at once from apparently wherever that sun is. It doesn't even need to be in the neighborhood. It's a sweet idea, but
discounts light years.
yeah, well, that never makes any sense in
Yeah.
Star Wars anyway.
I guess
How
they'd have
fast
to suck up the
they-
sun that they're closest to the planet.
No,
But then-
it feels like they can shoot all the way across the galaxy, so it's a terrifying weapon.
Oh yeah.
And if you really wanted that to be in there, I would not blow it up. I just get people out and we're losing, because if you can just we're blowing up these things like smashing plates at a Greek restaurant. It's
Yeah.
too easy. But yeah, it is revealed then that this Kylo Ren,
Yeah.
nail it that time?
Yeah.
Fucking nailed it, people.
boom.
Yeah. Kylo Ren's dad is Han Solo, and his mom is Leia.
Yeah.
And Han is trying to get his son back, and they play it pretty well like he might, bring him around, and then he fucking kills Han Solo.
Yeah.
Chewie takes it pretty fucking well, also.
No, he doesn't.
He shoots him once. I would think Chewie would be down there trying to rip his arms off.
No, like he shot him and then took out like 8 fucking stormtroopers.
Oh, I take out 8
But he
fucking
had to run
stormtroopers like the Alliance takes out a Death Star. It's nothing for me. I mean, in terms of what you think Chewie would do in a situation like that, I'm surprised. I'm sure they toyed with the idea of also Chewie is in such rage that he dies at that point too.
Yeah.
But I do like the bad guy. I like the fight there at the end. I like everything at the end of this movie. I just didn't. Let's get more creative than having another bigger, more powerful Death Star. I bought it in Jedi because they're a government. I'm okay with a government doing that because governments are stupid. But now it's like a whole new. Come on, it must have been hugely expensive the first couple times.
Now, well, they just
who's underwriting the policies on these things? These are very expensive to insure at this point.
Onto a planet this time.
Oh, is that what they did?
They didn't make a planet. Yeah, they retrofitted the core of the planet.
Oh, I thought they made the whole thing like the Halo guys, where they just make one.
No. It's literally a planet that they're trying to blow up. The planet like backs its butt up to a sun, sucks up the sun, and then shoots out of the other side of the planet.
As many as it wants. It can shoot out whole systems.
Yeah.
And this is where I thought, they blew up Coruscant because they blow up the entire Republic.
Yeah.
Every Republic planet that has a government institution on it, I guess they just wipe out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, good. Kill that other trilogy. I thought that's what they're doing. Like, blow up those Jar Jar fucks and their overweight boss down on their planet and blow up Coruscant. And that's basically all the new planets.
I think they did a tremendous job in the entire
So we get the
movie.
map.
Yeah.
And we blow up the Death Star, because like I said, that's pretty much all we're good at in the Rebel Alliance, blowing up the Death Star. It's become old hat at this point. And then we send her off to find Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
And Luke Skywalker's apparently been doing a lot of fucking handstands, because he's on a planet all alone. Yep. I was hoping he'd be on Dagobah. I'm kind of bummed.
Out
of all the planets...
It's not Dagobah. That's the thing.
Very nice day on Dagobah.
It does look like it's Hawaii.
It's Ireland. It looks like to me.
Yeah, it does.
Actually,
yeah.
But he's apparently been practicing because every rock on the whole planet has been stacked into his house. He's been doing a lot of handstands, and that is the first time we see Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, at the very
Hopefully,
end.
Mark Hamill doesn't get in another car wreck between now and the next movie, because then they'll have to have him beat up by another snow beast.
Movie now, so
yeah.
Okay, they're into it.
Yeah, but they shadow play Luke out the whole film.
Yeah,
which is a good move.
It'll be awesome. I hope. Oh, they're probably gonna fucking kill Luke too. I'm a little disappointed.
Luke has to die. I mean, Han had to die for some reason. Obi-Wan has to die. He's done.
Yeah,
he's told her everything he needs. Done. He's the Obi-Wan in this movie.
I think they could have not killed him, though. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's not like Harrison Ford wanted to be in the other movies.
He didn't want to be in this. Yeah, Harrison's grouchy. He doesn't really want to make movies anymore, but most people have this limit where they're like, 1 million. No, don't want to do it. 2 million. No, don't want to do it. 3 million. Oh, fuck it. I'll do it.
He got 20.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. I'll wake up for that.
Thank God he's not a Jedi. He can't come back as a grumpy ghost.
That's very true.
Yeah. Well, they did a good job.
They did a really good job.
Of saying that Han Solo has had a lot of other adventures. And what we'll do is we'll cast Shia LaBeouf.
Who's going to understand?
She understands Chewie.
Who?
The chick.
No.
Yeah, she does.
No.
She doesn't?
No.
I'm sure somewhere in the galaxy they have a robot whose whole task is understanding other things.
Leia understands Chewie by now, or kind of. Or
maybe.
She doesn't even...
Have you ever thought of this? Maybe no one understands Chewie, and he's been really frustrated the entire time. No what I'm saying at all.
This dick doesn't know what I'm talking about.
The gold robot doesn't get him or nothing. I don't understand why. My understanding of droids is that they're servants, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they have just told R2 to wake up and do his fucking job? He's just been sitting there chilling out for 20 years.
Yeah, he just took a... Well, I think it's... Yeah.
When he heard Luke disappeared, he just
They
turned
tried
off.
to reboot him, it said several times, and it wouldn't work.
He said he turned on sleep mode, and I will admit, that's been a problem with computers for a long time, is getting them to wake from sleep is sometimes a very big deal. It's a good movie, though.
He does come alive
check it out.
When Ren...
Right there at the end, yeah. I'm surprised she didn't bring him. Maybe she did.
She did.
She did?
Yeah, they loaded him up in the thing when she took off.
Read something on the internet. Well, he couldn't climb all those rocks. R2 has fucking flying rockets. It's good, though. I'm so happy that Star Wars is back. Just get through 2 more of them, and I'll be happy with Star Wars, and then you can fuck off all you want with it. I just need this.
I think they're going to do a great job. Thank you, J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, I wish they'd have just gone with J.J. the whole time, and now it makes me worried. But hopefully when they got the overall plot outlined.
You don't think they're going to go with J.J. the whole time?
He's not directing the next one, I don't think.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Oh, we should research before we get
look
into an argument.
Yeah, well, I won't
on
make
the
a presumption about it, but I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's Star Wars.
Force Awakens.
If you listen to all this and you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. We skipped a whole bunch of really cool shit. You should go back and watch it.
This isn't full on. exhaustive plot run through. It's a good story though.
Yeah.
It matches the first one pretty well. Only real gripe with it is that they had to throw another Death Star deal in there. That's it.
That's the only thing. And even
Get a little
that was
bit more
done pretty
creative
well,
on the
and
next one. Don't have them go to a bigger cloud city and chop off 2 arms.
I'm telling you, fucking Ewoks, man. They're going to be in there.
I would bring the Ewoks back. I think the Ewoks are cool. I don't care about people who don't like
I hate
the
that people
Ewoks.
hate Ewoks.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you fucking hate that? That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
They're little primitive creatures. I like how that's the best thing about
primitive creatures, but goddamn, can they make a log trap really quickly? You throw some logs. They're the lumberjacks of the forest, even though they're only 4 feet tall.
They kind of look like beavers. So
you know who doesn't hate the Ewoks? Anyone who's in the midget union at Hollywood. They
Totally.
love George Lucas.
Oh my god!
This is the least amount of midgets I've ever seen in a George Lucas inspired piece of work ever.
He was in R2D2. He climbed.
Oh yeah,
in.
they always put him in. But
Yeah.
I mean, usually a George Lucas like, hey, they're making a Star Wars. Call every midget in town. We need them. Call out to Colorado, get their midgets, and get the Michigan midgets down here. Get those guys from Mini Kiss. All the midgets.
Oh, I'm gonna go to midget wrestling at Jazz Bones.
Hmm?
You got to come with me. There's micro wrestling
You
at Jazz
gotta
Bones.
cut some weight.
No, they build a small ring.
How
in a
many
bar.
midgets will you kill?
I don't think it's me versus them, but I could probably kill quite a few.
Okay. Well,
It's completely off
I need
topic.
the
It's an event
over-under
I'm
on how
going
many
to.
you can kill. I'm going to take bets. Execute
be in the
Order
ring.
66. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful Star War.
Bye.
No, I will not bend your legs past your ears and fuck you like a single mother. Oh dear. I don't know about you, but I've been having a lovely Star Wars.